Mrs. put her finger to her lips. This means be quiet. Yeah, only guess what? Guess what? Jelly donuts are my most favorite kind of donuts. Except I also like the creamy kind, and the chocolate kind, and the kind with rainbow sprinkles on the top. After that, my mouth got very watery, and some drool fell on the table. I wiped it up with my sweater sleeve. Just then there was a knock on the door, and Mrs. hurried to open it up. "Hey, it's a cop!" I hollered, very excited. The cop came into room 9. He had on a blue shirt with a shiny badge and shiny black boots and a shiny white motorcycle helmet. And Mrs. smiled. "Boys and girls, I would like you to meet my friend, Officer Mike. Officer Mike is a policeman. Who can tell me what policemen do?" "I can," I called out. "They arrest people. 'Cause one time some cops arrested a guy on my street. And so that means they made him take a nap, I think." Well, just then that Jim I hate laughed very loud. "They didn't arrest him, stupid," he hollered. "They arrested him. That means they took him to jail, and so your neighbor's a dirty, rotten jailbird." Then the other kids laughed.
Actually, they took him to a court of law.
No, they took him to jail first before he got his court hearing. Then the other kids laughed too. Junie B was right on that, or Jim was right on that, and so I hided my head. "Yeah, only I hardly even know the guy," I said to just myself. After that, Officer Mike took off his shiny white helmet, and his shiny white helmet, except for the helmet, was very too big for my head, and it covered my whole entire eyes. "Hey, who turned out the lights?" I said, 'cause that was a funny joke, of course. Then another knock came on the door. This time it was a lady in a long white jacket, and she was carrying a giant red toothbrush. "Boys and girls, this is Dr. Smiley," said Mrs. "Dr. Smiley is a children's dentist." Dr. Smiley hung up some posters of teeth. Then she talked all about Mr. Tooth Decay. And she said to brush our teeth at night and also in the morning. "Yeah, 'cause if you don't brush in the morning, your breath smells like stink," I said, because it's true. After that, I showed Dr. Smiley my wiggling tooth. "Losing baby teeth is exciting, isn't it?" she asked. "Yes," I said, "except I don't like the part where you cry and you spit blood." Dr. Smiley made a sick face. Then she passed out mini green dental floss, and all the kids in room 9 practiced flossing. Flossing is when you pull strings through your mouth. Only pretty soon an accident happened. That's because a boy named William winded his floss too tight, and his teeth and his head got in a tangled up knot ball. And Dr. Smiley couldn't undo him. Then Mrs. had to call janitor Speedy Quick, and so he turned to room 9, and he shined his giant flashlight in William's mouth. And then Dr. Smiley got the dangerous floss right out of there. Room 9 clapped and clapped, and Dr. Smiley did a bow. Then Mrs. said that maybe some of us might like to dress up like dentists or police officers on job day. "Yeah, only what if you don't like drunk guys or bloody teeth?" I asked. Oh, Mrs. rolled her eyes way up at the ceiling. Then she walked Officer Mike and Dr. Smiley out in the hall. That's when room 9 started buzzing very hard. Buzzing is what you do when your teacher leaves the room. "I'm going to dress up like an actress on job day," said a girl named Emily. "I'm going to dress up like a princess," said my bestest friend Lucille, that I hate. Junie B's very strange. Why is Lucille her bestest friend? I did a giggle. "I'm going to dress up like a bullfighter." That's what I said. Then I ran speedily fast around the room, and I butted that mean Jim in the stomach with my head. And guess what? I didn't even get caught. That's what. Well, that was chapter 2. What do you think of that?
Read chapter 3.
Oh, I gotta read chapter 3?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Are you through?
Yep.
After me and my big fat mouth. That's what it says here. That's the name of chapter 3. After school was over, me and my bestest friend named Grace walked to the bus together. Except that Grace kept on wanting to skip, and I didn't. "How come you don't want to skip?" she asked. Me and you always skip to the bus. I know, Grace, I said, but today I've got a very big problem inside my head, and it's called I still don't know what job I want to be when I grow up. I do, said that Grace. I'm going to be Mickey Mouse at Disneyland. Well, I did a big sigh at her. Yeah, only too bad for you, Grace, I said, 'cause there's only one real live Mickey Mouse, and you're not him. Well, then Grace laughed very hard. Mickey isn't real, silly. He's just a mouse suit with a guy inside. And so just then I felt very sickish inside of my stomach, 'cause I didn't know Mickey was a suit, that's why. What did you have to tell me that for, Grace, I said. Now I feel very depressed. Then I'd hurried up on the bus, and I scooted way over by the window. Except I couldn't get any peace and quiet, 'cause everybody kept on talking about dumb old job day. I'm going to be a famous singer, said a girl named Rose. I'm going to be a famous baton twirler, said another girl named Lynn. Then a girl named Charlotte said she was going to be a famous painter. Famous painters are called artists, she explained, and artists are very rich. Well, after that I felt a little bit cheerier, 'cause guess what? Grandma Miller says I paint beautifully, that's what. Hey, maybe I'll be a famous painter too, I said. I'm going to be a prison guard, said a boy named Roger. My Uncle Roy's a prison guard, and he gets to carry the keys for the whole entire prison. Well, isn't that a dandy? That'd be kind of heavy. Then my mouth did a smile, 'cause one time my dad gave me the key to the front door, and I unlocked it all by myself, and I didn't even need any help. Hey, maybe I might carry keys too, Roger, 'cause I know how to use those things very good. Just then William raised his hand, very bashful. I'm going to be a superhero and save people from danger, he said. So then I jumped right out of my seat, 'cause that was the bestest idea of all. Me too, William, I hollered, 'cause that sounds very exciting. I think, and so I'm going to save people from danger too. Then that mean Jim jumped up at me. Copycat, copycat, you're just copying everybody else. And anyway, you can't be 3 jobs. You can only be 1. Well, I made a growly face at him. I am just being 1 job, I said, very angry. It's a special kind of job where you paint and you unlock stuff and you save people. So there, ha-ha, and you. Well, that Jim made a cuckoo sign at me. Goonie, he said, Goonie B. Jones. There's no job like that in the whole entire universe. Yes, there is too, you big fat Jim, I yelled, and it's the bestest job in the whole wide world. He crossed his arms and did a mean smile.